check.
They'll make a motion item.
Whoa, that's fast.
Just now with. In case we have any comment. Morning.
Hopefully we won't see landfill break.
Oh, okay. Well,
Sorry. If that was so I would say go through what each one is. What is the resolution? Do it. And it's the resolution. Stop. Just highlight.
well, Chris.
Then don't need to. Very good.
We got
About
sign the packet.
You know, it's been ticking down over the years. Pepsi distribution sale and solid. We don't know that they haven't come back. I know.
property taxes.
I know. I kind of thought it was kind of interesting. But you know, once we have that, I mean, we'll be able to use that forward, and it can go up if they want.
So I didn't see the last version, but did the guy died? Did you
Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, December 11th, 2025, and we're here this morning for a special meeting where we will have the adoption of the 25 and 26 the 25 revised budget and the 26 budgets. So I'm Kristen Stevens, Chair of the Board of County Commissioners, and with me are my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Jody Shattuck McNally and Commissioner John Kafalis. To my right, we have from the Clerk's Office, Lindsay Tracy, our county manager, Lorinda Volker. We have Alex from the budget office, and I believe that Matthew Buchanan is going to do a little intro of what we're doing here today. We have already had a hearing for the budget, so this is basically an adoption, but we will give people in the audience time to speak. Welcome, Matthew.
Good morning, Commissioners. Yes, this is the legal stamp on all the work that we've done over the past 9 months, really, from budget kickoff through all the work sessions, budget review meetings, a review of service proposals, capital projects, and neighborhood outreach community meetings. There are 6 resolutions today. The first one is to amend the 25 budget. There's a resolution to adopt the 26 budget and set mill levies for Larimer County. There's budget adoption for the other entities managed by Larimer County, including improvement districts. There's a resolution to adopt set appropriations for spending limits for 2026. Those are the legal appropriations for departments. And then a resolution to designate ending 26 balances, and then finally a resolution to delegate authority to certify and submit mill levies for all of the other tax authorities in Larimer County that are adopting their budgets and certifying their mill levies to you by this Monday. So those are the 6 resolutions, and they're all on the agenda. And happy to go through each one of those as needed.
Thank you, Matthew. Any questions for Matthew before we get started here? No?
Don't have any questions at the moment.
Okay, all right.
I don't have any
Okay,
questions.
all right. Well, thank you, Matthew. And we will now open the floor for public comment on the budget. So this would, any public comment for the 2025 budget amendment and 2026 budget? Is there anyone in the audience who wanted to give public comment? I don't believe we had anyone that was calling in with public comment either.
No,
Is
we
that
do not.
correct? Okay. All right, so we will close public comment. We did have a couple of comments in our last budget hearing, so, and we've, tried as much as possible to get the budget information out to the community. Everything is available online if people have questions about the budget, so we will not probably go into any details today. But please contact us if you have any questions about the budget. We certainly have a budget where we've had to make some cuts this year. Can you just explain a little bit about that, Matthew? Some of the cuts that we've had to make and maybe just some basic reasons why we've had to do so.
As a result of the special session from a year ago where property tax revenues were reduced by the state assembly, especially going to the future for commercial rates, we've had to adjust our spending to align with the reduction in property tax revenues. There was a reduction process that began almost a year ago with program service inventory, reevaluating all programs and services, looking for efficiencies, looking for new revenues, and then also reductions in the amount of new service proposals for 26. And we're on track to achieve a balanced budget. There's more work to do in the 27 budget that we're expecting, but we're on our way.
Thank you. I think that's good. I'll ask the county manager, is there anything you wanted to add in that space?
I guess thank you to the departments and the county leaders, the elected offices. There is not one that didn't come to the table with ideas to present and things that could be done, made the choices in some ways harder, in some ways easier, because they identified them themselves. But I do want to say thank you to them. It takes that kind of leadership to really get where we go, where we need to be, without harming the residents any more than we absolutely need to. So there may be a slightly longer wait time someplace, but we're not actually ending any services. It's great to be able to say that.
Thank you. Thanks for that. All right, anything further before we move on to the motions? Yeah, Commissioner,
If I can just say, I just want to echo Lorenda's comments. There was true leadership and collaboration, and I feel like commitment to kind of our values, our guiding principles about innovation and good stewardship and empowering people, joyful place. I just think that all those guiding principles shown, and it's a year-round process, and it took us all to come together and do what we could to make these tweaks to get to this point. And I want to commend you and Matthew and Alex and Josh and all the department heads, everyone, because it is it's not easy work, but you all did it in such a way that everyone felt valued and heard, and that it felt like a really team effort. And when you always kept us apprised, and I think that's the magic of trying to get to a budget like this. So this budget also matches our values as a county and as a board. And so it's not, seems like it's just kind of a bunch of motions today, but this is kind of the final thing of, as you said, of a years of work, a lot of passion and staying at the table and diligence, and I commend you all for just the tireless efforts. Really, really important. We couldn't get here without all of you. Thank you.
thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Kafalis.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, colleagues. This process has been mentioned, is a well-vetted process. We go about it throughout the year. A lot of credit goes to our budget team, to Matthew, to Alex, to Josh. Work collaboratively with the assessor's office to make sure we have the total value of all properties in the county, which directly relates to mill levies, which of course is the primary property tax, the primary source of money for the county, both on the operating side and on the capital side. So much credit to you folks, much gratitude. If people have more questions about the details about why we amended 2025 budget in terms of additional expenses, in terms of additional revenue, I mean, they can certainly follow up with us. They can certainly follow up with our budget folks. This is all about, being accountable to the taxpayer. It's about trying to be as transparent as we can. We've done our best to provide opportunities for folks to weigh in, and we have had some participation. But for the thousands of people that are listening and watching out there, we continually welcome ideas, suggestions on how can we get folks that we serve, the taxpayer dollars come from, how can we get them more engaged and involved in these budget matters? Because ultimately, this is critical to what we do as far as providing services, fixing potholes, and all the rest. But much thanks to you, Matthew and Alex, and that tall fellow back there, Josh, and certainly our assessor, Bob.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yeah, we have had some challenges, and some of them have been because of cuts at the federal and state level, and anticipating potentially even more, especially around human services. So we are working in a very difficult environment, and I will just say Alex Jordan, our budget analyst, Matthew Behunin, our senior budget analyst, and Josh Fudge, our Director of Performance, Budget, and Strategy, are all here, and we thank you very much for the work that you do. You make our jobs a lot easier. Thank you to Lorenda Volkert, who as well has a lot of conversations with departments. So when the budget comes to us, it's not fully baked, but there's a lot of conversations that have already happened that really help us with finalizing the budget. So we really appreciate the work that you all do. And we'll probably have another year again next year where budgets are tight, but we are required to present a balanced budget, and we are doing so today, and we will continue to do so, and we will continue to try to serve the public in the best way that we can. So, with that, let's move on to, so we have, looks like we have six motions that we need to make here. I think I'm going to split those up and not go back and forth between the two of you. So Commissioner Shattuck McNally, I would probably ask you to make the first three, and Commissioner Kafalis the last three. And so our first one is the resolution to amend the 2025 budget.
Certainly, Madam Chair. I
Oh,
would-
we'll have, and, sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, it's,
Okay.
it's my fault. I was going to have Matthew just say a couple sentences about what we're doing with each item.
Yeah, so this first resolution to amend the 2025 budget is largely follows our budget policy, which you've delegated authority to the county manager in certain cases to amend expenses. Anything that comes from property tax revenue or requires additional property tax support will come to you in a work session. We'll receive direction on that. And then other revenues, fees, grants, carryover from prior years also included in this 2025 current budget year amendment.
Thank you. Now we're ready. Sorry, Commissioner.
No, but you're fine, Madam Chair. And I agree. Thank you for just breaking it up this way, and I'd be more than happy to make this motion. I move to amend the 2025 budget to amounts as approved by the county commissioners and county manager.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table. Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 3-0. And then Matthew will move on to the next one, which is the resolution to adopt the 2026 budget and set mill levies for Larimer County.
Yeah, so this resolution is it's all the work we've been doing. There is a summary of changes from the proposed budget, which we had a ton of discussion and public outreach on. Just to walk through the bigger items there. The biggest is the early childhood sales tax passed. That was after the proposed budget was released, and so that's $18.7 million in additional spending. And then there's a few other items that you reviewed at a work session a few weeks ago, and then other miscellaneous changes due to the final certification of values, and then just cleaning up a few errors that we found. The total change between the proposed budget and the adopted is just over $19 million in additional spending.
Thank you, Matthew. Any other questions for Matthew before we, okay? All right, Commissioner Shattuck McNally.
Certainly, Madam Chair. I move to adopt the 2026 budget and set mill levies for the Larimer County government as outlined in the budget adoption resolution.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table. Motion on this one. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah, just a very quick comment, and just a reminder that once again, the voters in this case approved the early childhood sales tax, and that is the bulk of the adjustment in terms of the budget changing from what we had initially approved earlier, and that of course will go a long way to helping address issues related to the cost of child care, how much we pay folks, the infrastructure. So I think that's good news.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further discussion beyond that? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 3-0. The next item is resolution to adopt 2026 budgets and set levies for other entities, of which there are a lot.
Yeah, they used to read out each one of these line by line and have a separate motion, but the county attorneys advised us these can all be adopted with one motion. There are two new improvement districts this year that I would just call out, Nedra Acres and Thunder Mountain. Also, we adopt the budget for the Office of the Public Trustee and the Larimer County Pest District, which are both managed by Larimer County.
Any questions? Go ahead, Commissioner.
Just in an attempt to be a little bit on the lighter side, I imagine if we were still reading off each of these, the names of these public improvement districts or general improvement districts, I bet you could put a nice melody to that and make it very fun.
That sounds, that sounds like something for next year. Some holiday music to accompany us. Commissioner Shattuck McNally.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Matthew, since you brought up the numerous ones and we're making light of it, but let's just be informational for the public. How many taxing districts are there in Larimer County? I usually share this number, and I think most people are kind of shocked because that is, when we collect property taxes, we correct property taxes for everyone, and so that all that doesn't always come to the county. So would you share how many are now in Larimer County that the county is collecting for? Thank you.
Okay, so I don't have the exact number. I might look at Josh or Alex, see if do you know it. Total taxing authorities. So this resolution is only improvement districts managed by Larimer County, of which there are about 70. And these are for subdivision, largely maintenance on subdivision roads, not managed by not paid for by Road and Bridge directly. Apart from that, there are also, I think, around 400 tax authorities, which would include school districts, metro districts, library districts, cities and towns, and of course Larimer County.
Yeah.
But about 400 of those, and we are collecting the mills and the budgets for those entities as well, which that's the final resolution of the morning.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Just always think that's an interesting thing for folks to think about. Thank you.
Yeah, and in this particular case, it's our general improvement districts and public improvement districts. Also, Larimer County Shared Road, it looks like Public Trustee and Pest District.
Yeah.
Okay. So folks are aware of that. And if you want to see the details there again, I think they're actually up on the screen. There are quite a few public improvement districts. And general improvement districts. This is for improving things like roads and bridges in our communities. And there again, there's more information online. And we have 2 new ones this year. So with that, Commissioner, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I move to adopt the 2026 budgets and set mill levies for other entities listed on the agenda, including county-managed improvement districts, the public trustee, and the pest control district.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table. Any further discussion on this? Seeing none.
Aye.
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 That motion passes 3-0. So moving on, we have a resolution to appropriate sums of money for 2026.
Okay, so this resolution is it sets the legal spending limits for each spending agency, which tracks largely the departments and elected offices within the general fund, and then the bottom line expense for special revenue funds and enterprise funds. This limits spending by county departments to the expense amounts in the 26 budgets.
Thank you. Any questions for Matthew on this one? No. All right, Commissioner Kafalis.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I move to appropriate sums of money for 2026 for each Larimer County spending agency at amounts specified in the budget resolution.
Thank you, Commissioner. There's a motion on the table. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 3-0. Next is resolution to designate 2026 ending fund balances.
Yes, so this resolution, as stated, designates the ending balances. We'll point out the Tabor reserve is 11 million, and then the total ending balances, which includes all reserves set aside for all funds, which totals 361.6 million.
Thank you. Matthew, any questions for Matthew on this one? All right. Can you explain to the public just what the Tabor Reserve is and why we...
Yeah, Taxpayer Bill of Rights in the Constitution requires that local governments like counties set aside, I think it's 3.5% as an emergency reserve in case of natural disasters. We set aside more than that, but we do designate that Tabor Reserve to meet that requirement in this account 32003 emergency reserves.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Then Commissioner Kafalis, will you make this motion, please?
Yes. I move to designate 2026 ending fund balances as summarized in the budget resolution.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table. Any further discussion on this one? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 3-0. And our last one, which is the resolution to delegate certification and submission of mill levies.
So a few years ago, the General Assembly passed a new law to allow the county commissioners to delegate authority to sign and submit the certification of mill levies and other required property tax information to the state. So these are all those tax authorities, all the library districts, sanitation districts, water, fire, cities. They submit their mill levies to the board through our office, and then we certify that information to the county assessor's office, which will eventually go out to each taxpayer's household to pay their property tax. The timing on that is it allows another week for us to get the information in, which is greatly appreciated. And so that you delegate that authority to the Director of Performance, Budget, and Strategy.
Thank you, Matthew. Any questions for Matthew on this last one? Nope. All right. Commissioner Kafalas, I'll ask you to make that motion then, please.
I move to delegate authority to the Larimer County Director of Performance, Budget, and Strategy to certify and submit mill levies to the Office of the Assessor and appropriate state agencies.
Thank you, Commissioner. Motion on the table. Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 3-0. All right. Well, that is all our work here. Is that right?
Yeah, thank you. Thank
All
you
right,
for the kind
thank
words.
you. So a lot of work to have what amounts to a 20-minute meeting, but like I said, the more detailed information is available online, and please call any of us if you have any questions. With that, I'll just say thank you to our County Assessor, Bob Overbeck, for being here this morning. We appreciate you, and at 10:22, we're adjourned. Thank you.